crypto bros make money literally by making money, and they've made over $1 trillion out of thin air. They'll accuse the U.S. government of making money out of thin air. Maybe we do, but we're the U.S. government.
All right, so the video you just watched shows the absolute lunacy of the situation that we are currently in. And there's one more thing, and that's that video was dubbed over, that it was a joke. Or was it? You see what I mean here? It's hard to say if what he even is saying is real. It's that crazy. I know I must be confusing you here, but to my knowledge, this has been shared everywhere, and it's just his words. He has been very, very active against crypto, trying to discredit their arguments as to why crypto should be good. He's also one of the guys that's heavily against XRP. But then you hear his arguments and you're like, ooh. But trust me when I say that he's not the only one of this opinion.
Are U.S. Treasury bonds still safe to invest in?
Very much so. I think this is not an issue of credit rating. The United States can pay any debt it has because we can always print money to do that. So there is zero probability of default.
Yeah, I'd say that video shows properly enough the lunacy of the situation. Anyway, the reason the title said, "Finally, we've done something," is because of articles like this, and actually news akin to this. The US inflation is below 5% for the first time in 2 years. So even though we're on the brink of everything literally collapsing, at least there's something that's kind of good, I guess. You shouldn't always continue to dwell on those negative thoughts. No, sometimes you've got to acknowledge there's a little bit of good in every extremely bad situation. Talking about bad situations, though, I've been reading many articles, especially over the last couple of weeks, of how difficult the US government is to communicate with. We all know it, though, with the way the SEC has been acting, but the UK is not any different. Even though Ripple has expressed that the UK is easier to work with, the article I just read explained just how difficult the US and UK governments are when it comes to crypto. And take a look at what the UK just released. The UK tax authorities to be granted power to seize Bitcoin held on exchanges. This has two sides. From one perspective, the way I see this is the UK is stepping it up, and they're acknowledging that cryptocurrencies are something you can pay your debts with, in the same sense as how China has issued it, I think, a couple of days ago, if you guys remember from my recent news video. On the opposite side, the way I see this is the UK tax authorities are in very much unison with these crypto exchanges to try and mess you up regardless. But this is actually not for any one single debt. No, if you take a look, the HM Revenue and Customs is proposing the introduction, it's not implemented yet, but they're proposing it, of new regulations that would give it authority to take crypto from companies that do not pay their crypto taxes, which is interesting. So this brings up one central issue, which is, I guess if you do not keep your coins on exchanges, they can't take them away from you. And number two is, why would they focus on, well, we got to let them pay tax, instead of let them actually pay tax by making crypto deductible to bank accounts, basically. Because right now in the UK, there's massive crises of people being able to transact between banks and crypto. It's just really dumb. Anyway, before we move on, guys, I'm going to humbly request you all to press that like button, because I think the more likes, the better these videos do. So let's try to get to at least 500 likes. In theory, if everybody watching pressed that button, we'd be at a couple thousand. Now, I know a lot of people won't, but if you watching will, that would be greatly appreciated. Maybe over on the right, oh, here it is actually. You already might have seen it, but right now there's a very trendy hashtag, and that is delete Coinbase. People are very angry with Coinbase for something that they have very recently done. So the news, Coinbase faces backlash as newsletter to customers calls Pepe a hate symbol. So apparently in Coinbase's most recent newsletter, Borovic ETH found, why is Coinbase sending out emails telling that Pepe is an alt-right hate symbol? What you should know about Pepe, the meme coin of the moment. Pepe was issued around 3 weeks ago with a comically huge supply. Token is based on the Pepe the Frog meme, which first serviced the internet nearly 20 years ago as a comic strip character. Over time, it has been co-opted as a hate symbol by alt-right groups, according to the Anti-Defamation League. What? I don't know exactly why they pulled that card here. And yeah, when I say that it went trending, it absolutely went trending. There's a lot of people right now that are heavily hating on Coinbase for what they have just done right here. Hashtag delete Coinbase trended on Twitter as a Coinbase newsletter pointed out the lesser known links between Pepe, the meme, and some alt-right political circles. Honestly, this wasn't Coinbase's best move right here. I think they would have been better off just to ignore the entire situation and just not insert that link, because I don't think anybody really thought about it. I'm not so sure exactly why you would add it. All right, now that we're talking about things that are quite strange. I mean, most of the news I cover nowadays is quite strange. BRICS leader says talks on a new global currency incoming as countries question the US dollar reliance. Well, from the videos that I showed you guys earlier, those videos where they say, well, we can always pay our debt back because we can always print more money. Well, from videos like that, I can understand why some of these leaders, some of these country spearheads, might not want to rely that fully on the US dollar, on the US. I mean, yeah, can you really blame them? I don't think you can. And apparently right now, a couple of different countries are coming together to basically state the exact same thing. The BRICS countries, and specifically South Africa's foreign minister, says that the group is looking into whether a new global currency would effectively allow them to disconnect from the US dollar. We're talking Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and they're again discussing the feasibility of such a new common currency, which is pretty wild if you start thinking about it. All right, and now before we move on, we all know that play-to-earn games have not been in the best of positions lately. And for that reason, I honestly think that this whole gaming space, all right, besides the play to earn, but the gaming space connected with Web3 is pretty undervalued. And for that reason, I've partnered up with Scapes Mania because they've got something rather interesting. Because again, how they sidestep this all is by not focusing on the play to earn concept, which obviously has not been doing so well, while still staying in this growing, emerging gaming / Web3 connection, I'd like to say, but rather focusing on gameplay, or more importantly, in my opinion, on functioning project revenue streams. I personally recommend you guys to check out this little video that they've got to get a better understanding of exactly what they do, and of course what the token does as well. It's kind of funny, but the style of this video looks exactly like one of those telephone ads, if you know what I mean. But I will quickly say a couple of different things. They've received a B&B grant, and even though I personally wasn't able to find much info on the team in their white paper, etc., potentially you can find a lot more via Red Pill team, which it's being developed by. And again, for most of the data that I checked out, things look pretty good, and they've actually been staying ahead of the competition, actually getting number 2 in over 351 different blockchain projects that I guess were all trying to get themselves a grant. Anyway, I will say again that this video is sponsored, so please do your own due diligence. And even though I'm showing you right now how to buy, if that's something you're interested in, please always check it out for yourself. I'm just showing you what this is all about, and if you think it's something cool, take the proper action, but always check it out properly. And like I always say, also be careful with downloading games. Anyway, you can see over on their main website already how to buy. It's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. There's just going to be a couple of different sales where, well, there's also going to be different prices. You can see the start date of sale number 1 is May 23rd, after which the discounts are going to keep getting lower and lower. Their public sale is actually a pretty far time away. And right now, all you can do is just apply for this whitelist. And yeah, I can also not confirm that these exchanges are coming up, but if they are, then, based on that alone, if it can be confirmed, that is actually pretty huge, because then from that perspective, buying in is always a smart thing. But that's it for right now. So check it out if it's something you're interested in. there's something else that was pretty crazy that was happening earlier, and you guys can't see the full evidence of it anymore. I have it on my phone, but it's impossible to bring over to the computer. But there was basically a crazy amount of FUD over the government all of a sudden moving money again. But it wasn't the case, because everybody tried to quickly dispel that no, the government didn't move any money just quite yet. Obviously, they have a ton of Bitcoin, and the moment they decide to do something, that would have some pretty severe consequences. That's, again, some of the Bitcoin that they confiscated all the way back from Silk Road. Oh, actually, we have some evidence right here. Beetle said, U.S. government Bitcoin wallets on the move, and faked some transactions, and it's now been said, guys like Crypto Banter and a couple of others are saying that he was able to dump the price a very significant amount by this. Now, I've also noticed he has closed down his profile, probably because he is scared, I don't know. But I'm not so sure if he used to work at this news outlet and right now he was fired or quit, or if this all was just a ruse, because it does say here you worked for The Block, which was funded by SBF to shield narratives. Not surprised you're trying to shake the markets with fake news. How big was your short position before doing this? As he apparently earlier pointed out this. Oh no, actually this says here that SBF secretly funded this news website, which I still think is wild that this news website was so big that they funneled so many millions upon millions of dollars. Well, yeah. Anyway, another interesting piece of news is this right here. South Korea freezes $176 million worth of crypto and luxury items belonging to Kwon. I don't think I have to cover it too deep because, okay, I wanted to make a joke about somebody going deep into Kwon, but let's stay professional here because the guy is already at rock bottom. I can't make jokes about him becoming a literal bottom here now. That would be too low of a joke. I mean, at this point, we've also set the bar pretty low, and I guess let's just hope he doesn't drop that bar of soap. Anyway, there was also an interesting situation with Ripple. Garlinghouse slams claim that Ripple could have avoided a costly tussle with the SEC by registering XRP as a security, and this discussion, in my opinion, is always funny. So there was a guy, Jason, the official Jason over on Twitter. XRP is obviously a security. It would have cost little for the Ripple team to have registered it as a security and played by the rules, like everyone else in the industry does all day long. That was a response to Ripple paying over $200 million to fight the lawsuit against the SEC. Now, John Deedon obviously said, claiming Ripple sold XRP as a security is one thing. Saying XRP is a security is another. XRP is a line of code inside of software. So how exactly do you register that? To have registered it as security and played by the rules like everyone else, where did Ethereum, ADA, Algo, XLM, etc. actually then register? And in my opinion, the more important part, as what do you, as a security? So then Bitcoin is fine, which following most part follows the same rules, but then Ethereum and all these others are also not fine because they're more akin to XRP potentially. This is just a difficult battle that I can't agree with them on. And I just think it's a completely useless argument, completely useless battle, as the SEC keeps on shouting, just come to us. We've got open arms. Just register. But then the moment you actually come on over and you, hey, I try to register, they say like, oh, excuse me. It's a lawsuit for you, my boy. It just doesn't really make any sense. But the argument that you should just go ahead and register when nobody knows exactly what you register it as, because again, the security rules and security statement does not really line up. How exactly do you go about it then? Anyway, a couple of side pieces. One that was interesting is Justin Sun, the founder of Tron. He actually, interestingly enough, is going to be trading more meme coins and sharing a little bit of his thoughts. He's going to be doing it on his public addresses so we can all follow him. And he says his losses will be his own, but his profits will be donated to charity, which in my opinion is pretty strange. Why? What's the purpose here? Just for fun then? Is he trying to flex on us with all his money? Huh. I don't need any money. The moment I make money, I'll give it to charity. The moment I lose, though, that's on me. What's the point? I personally think the point here is, again, marketing, that people are going to say, Justin Sun just bought this coin, Justin Sun this, Justin Sun that. And you can see that this tweet on its own got 606,000 views. Because remember, he didn't have to announce anything like this. He could have just done it and said, hey, I paid this much to charity. Hey, I sent this much to charity. but the way he's worded here, I think it's more of a publicity thing, but that's just me. And with that about Justin Sun said, I've been spending too much time trading meme coins. Somebody made a joke, Dusty, you might have got a gambling addiction. No, I don't! But I guess that's what they all say. Here, take a look. One of the coins I've been trading like a madman is Sponge. Why? Because of the name. I mean, it's called Sponge. What else? What type of info do you need, right? Right now, I can see somebody's dumping like a madman. And again, this is 0% financial advice. This is pure degeneracy. But what I've been doing with a lot of these coins is just every single time it comes to a very significant dip, I just try to buy that bottom a little bit. I know it might sound strange. I know it might sound stupid, but I've been able to flip my Ethereum for a significant amount more over 100 times. I think perhaps over 150 times, but it's somewhere in the middle of that. So what I just keep doing, guys, is every single time I see some major sells here. Oh, had to adjust the screen a little bit. You can see right here an 18 Ethereum sell, a couple of massive Ethereum sells right here. I just try to buy myself some of the meme coin and then try to flip it for a little bit because, well, if Pepe turns back around, a lot of these coins are going to be seeing a very big spike yet again. Once more, guys, something like Sponge here is 0% fundamentally proper, so to speak. They've just got hyped. They've just been extremely popular. Today, unfortunately, I guess, if you want to call it that, they're not in the trending, but they used to be pretty freaking huge. You can see they still got themselves $20 million worth of market cap. And right now, some guys are dumping it hard. 20 Ethereum sell. Yet again, somebody's trying to take this thing down. And again, what I'm doing is extremely risky. I try to buy some of these bottoms and trying to hope for some quick reversals. Why? Because you can see right there, that is a 50% spike after hitting such a bottom in like an hour. Okay, it's a little bit more than that, but you could have bought, and let's see here, actually gotten a huge profit spike in about an hour and 45, about 50% or so. And, well, you can also see from the chart just how often it bounces back after some very significant sells, because a lot of people are employing the same strategy that I've got. You see, this guy, either it's a market manipulator or I don't know, but this guy has bought 38 Ethereum worth and he sold 60 Ethereum worth. That's a madman. And here again, a person has bought 12 Ethereum worth in 2 buys and actually sold 12 Ethereum also. So this person is actually kind of a shitty trader if you look at it because, oh, he sold all his coins yet again and actually, yeah, didn't really make profit. So I'm not exactly sure why that would be. You can just see the way he's been doing it. Green is buy, red is sell. But yeah, a lot of meme coins right now are in such an interesting spot. And I guess it's interesting that Sponge just caught my eye a little while ago and I've been trading this one the most. Oh, look at that, another 50 Ethereum sell. The wallet we were just talking about has just cashed out $85,000, which is mad. Please don't be left holding the bag. Don't be the last one to sell. But perhaps there's some flipping opportunities possible of just buying in cheap and selling high. Again, not financial advice. I'm doing this because it's funny and because I made a ton of money with flipping these meme coins. I would not suggest using your freshly generated money from your job for attempting this type of stuff. Just letting you guys know what's going on a little bit. And a little side note, CZ from Binance said, locked ETH at all-time high. You know what follows? And that basically is talking about the fact that right now a lot of Ethereum is locked up. And I think personally that because all this ETH is out of circulation, that's bullish for Ethereum. So we're right now wondering what's next? Ethereum to an all-time high then? But anyway, that was it for today's crypto video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video, hopefully later today. I got some cool stuff coming up, so check you guys out later. Make sure you press that like button if you enjoyed this video.